Ahoy, my fellow adventurers. Come closer, because I've got a wild story to share that's sure to send shivers down your spine and ignite your imagination. Here's the tale of Marco Polo, a guy who boldly went where few would dare. In the year 1271, I hopped on a ship from Venice with my dad and uncle, dreaming of adventures in the far-off east. We were so excited. As dawn broke, our battered galley limped into Acre, where crusader castles and churches rose like phantoms from the mist. We carried holy oil from Christ's tomb, a gift for the great Khan. Its fragrance seared the air, and me heart quivered with a mix of reverence and dread. We pressed on, atop camels into Asia Minor, where rainbow markets dazzled the senses. Traders whispered of flying carpets, while the air was thick with saffron and frankincense, creating a magical vibe all around. I even dared to touch one such carpet, its shimmering weave like nothing I'd ever felt. Beneath the snow-capped Ararat, I dreamed of Noah's Ark, wondering if such marvels still existed in this world. But let me tell you, my friends, it was the Pamirs and the Gobi that really put a man's grit to the ultimate test. Men swore they heard unearthly music, leading the unwary off course to vanish forever. In that endless desert, phantom voices called like sirens, luring travelers to their doom. Even the very sands seemed alive, singing mournful dirges of lost caravans in the dead of night. The Persian Gulf was waiting for us, a blazing furnace of sun and sand, ready to embrace our adventure. Hormuz was a hellish place, where we cowered beneath date palms as sandstorms raged. When spring came, we faced the cruel mistress that is the Indian Ocean. Waves like dark walls crashed against our ship, while lightning lit up the sky. It felt like we were in the middle of a wild storm. We hauled aboard a beast that haunts me still, a monstrous sea lizard, 10 feet of muscle and scales, snapping at our oars. They called it a crocodile, but I knew it for what it was. A Komodo straight from the pits of hell. Monsoons pushed us to Sumatra, a wild island filled with creepy cannibals lurking around. We built a moat of water round our camp, but one night they crossed it, spears in hand, to sit by our fire. We traded stew and trinkets for their sago bread and palm wine that tasted of ambrosia. In the flickering torchlight, I watched jungle children weave grass through their hair, wild-eyed but curious, dancing round our fire before melting back into the forest like spirits. Ceylon welcomed us with its stunning emerald peaks and sparkling, bright blue seas. We came across yogis, super thin like reeds, who slept bare on temple floors and only drank water. A cool hand touched my fevered dad's forehead, and by nightfall, the sickness disappeared like morning mist. We climbed to a hollow stupa, said to hold Buddha's relics, and in its silence, I felt a peace that words cannot capture. Finally, we stepped into the amazing world of the great Khan. Can you believe it? Xanadu, bursting with colors so vibrant they'd make rainbows look totally boring. It was like stepping into a dream. Lanterns of scarlet and jade hung in marble halls of gold, beneath painted eaves that stretched to the heavens. The Khan kept 10,000 snow-white horses, drinking only their mare's milk. I knelt before the great Khan, awestruck, as he asked of the West and of dragons. I could speak only of gods and wonders. In his court, I witnessed miracles that would make a sailor's hair stand on end. Tibetan lamas chanted, stilling raging storms with mere words. One monk placed a cup of wine on a table, whispered a prayer, and the cup flew into the Khan's hand, full to the brim. Another drew a circle of salt on the floor, and even the wind obeyed him, falling silent as death. Just outside the Khan's lands, we spotted elephants, huge and majestic, moving like living mountains, and a rhinoceros that ambled past our caravan, ugly and mighty, with a single horn that put unicorns to shame. In a distant temple, I witnessed rites of fire that still haunt me dreams. At a king's death, his wives leapt into the funeral flames. I couldn't help but cry at that amazing display of love, feeling my soul ignite just like theirs. Now I'm but an old man, huddled by a dying fire, me bones weary, but me spirit still yearning for the horizon. I've heard mosque bells at dawn, and jungle spirits howling at midnight. I've sailed beneath every sky, starry and tranquil, storm-black, or empty and cruel. I've faced cannibals and monsters, and lived to tell the tale. In the end, it's not the dark you should worry about, but the regret of never having the guts to explore it. Remember this, the who seek adventure. The world is vaster than any map can show. Face the unknown like a sailor weathered by storms, eyes wide open and heart unafraid. For beyond every horizon, another marvel waits to be discovered. You can totally discover more awesome stuff by subscribing to the Synthetic Oracle channel. And hey, don't forget to hit that like button to stay in the loop.